Oh, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. I'm sorry, me and Auntie Dale, as I like to call her, and Dale Homestead, we had a little meeting in the background, so we had to adjust a couple things, but we were able to both go live on both of our platforms, which is awesome. So once again, thank everybody for being here. Greatly appreciate you guys. I am so excited to hang out with Aunt Dale. You might hear me refer to her as Aunt Dale Homestead, but I am so happy to be here and be able to talk to her about these oils. We met a couple times. We share, you know, knee. Well, we both have arthritis of some sort, and yes, I'm really interested in hearing about the herbs and oils and all these kind of home remedies that she has lined up for us, and examples and things like that, because if you guys don't know, I am not familiar with herbs, gardening, or any of that kind of stuff. But I appreciate her coming up here to share with us about all the home remedies and things. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you guys Miss Aunt Dale Homestead.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I enjoy these kind of live streams.
Oh, thank you for having me up here. I really appreciate it. And, you and I clicked a long time ago. I don't know. First of all, hello, everyone on Miss
Oh
T
yes,
with
hello
T.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Thank you. And for all of you that have not met my buddy, my pal, my little niece over here, Miss T with the T, she's adorable. I'm crazy about her. So if you're seeing her on my Facebook or YouTube, that's because we're co-streaming and we're on Miss T's YouTube. So it's a lot of fun to stream it on each other's channels, right?
It is. It is. Let's see. We have Black Tropical and Kenneth and Jay Z, the awesome couple Lazy Days Ahead with Jess and Lisa, Fresh and Fire, Exotica's Empire. Hello, how are you doing? Sherry K, Jared, Cece, everybody, welcome in, welcome in. I try
In
not
the
to leave anybody out.
Yes, we don't want to leave anyone out, but it's difficult to be able to, you know, say hey to every single person all the time. But
Right.
I love being. I can't help myself. It's a sickness. I have to call people's names out. So
I know I hate to feel like I'm leaving somebody else. So I try to like recognize everybody. We have a larger audience today already. That's
which is
awesome.
awesome. That's so good. I'm so thank you all for being here. But so what are we talking about today, Ms. T?
We are all about the herbs and home remedies versus medicines. And I enjoy the conversation. Well, we haven't even started the conversation, but I do enjoy because, like I said, I have rheumatoid arthritis and I have osteoarthritis. And I'm now going to the doctor more frequently. And they're like
Hmm.
changing and adjusting and
Yeah.
adding on pills. And I'm just at the point now where I'm just like, you know what? I can't take another pill
Right.
daily. Yeah.
And if you're like me and you're like decades and decades younger than I, but um, when I do take a medication, I have psoriatic arthritis and some rheumatoid arthritis, which is arthritis actually is an autoimmune issue where your thyroid does weird things and then it shoots out other stuff, and starts to, your body starts to, oh, it's a thermal printer. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I just messed myself up here. There we go. Sorry, pushing buttons. I'm a button pusher, and so I could mess something up in a minute. Um, with rheumatoid and psoriatic arthritis, it began to get worse and worse and worse for me. And it began to, I've had a knee replacement because of it. I thought at the time the only avenue that I could go through is medication, pharmaceutical, because that's all we know. You take
Exactly.
ibuprofen and BCs and things like that. Well, the medication began to get more on
Mhm.
top of more. The first thing that I took eventually began to make me feel like I had the flu for 3 days, and because it was a shot that I had to take, self it's just one of those
Yeah,
pins, not a
I
big
do
deal.
that too every Sunday.
Okay. And then so for like from Sunday to Thursday, I would feel like I had the flu. And then I
Mm,
started feeling a little bit better, a little bit better. By Sunday, I was feeling pretty good. And then you got to take the shot again. And so they switched that medication, and other things became issues, and all kinds of one on top of the other. And it got to the point where I was on that wheel, which we can all get in, on that wheel of um, I was heading from doctor to doctor to doctor for all the different things that were going on in your body. And I said, I have got to stop and back up and try God's herbs. Try to see what was already on this world, in this on this earth that God put on here to heal us. Because if we put our bodies, my opinion, we put our bodies in a situation where they can heal themselves, give it the right circumstances with the right herbs, then it's just limitless what could happen because it's all here for us to be able to use.
Now I'm one tough cookie. I'm not the toughest cookie on the block, but I have a harder outer shell. But I every now and then you guys catch me getting emotional. So I feel as though God brought us together for a reason. We've known each other for a while, but
That's
we shared the arthritis situation, and
mhm.
I'm at wit's end with the medicines. It was
Right.
it was fine at first. I was taking 2 or 3. Okay, I can walk. That's awesome. And now it's just so overwhelming. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on here because I'm really interested in hearing what you got to say.
Well, I was at a point where even though I had a knee replacement, I'm still have pain there because psoriatic arthritis goes in the muscle tissue as much or more than the bone. And I'm sorry if we're not speaking to the chat, everybody. We do see you and we appreciate you so much. This is a lot of information to get out there. So we wanted to do that. But it began to get into my hands and I felt like I was walking or dealing with crushed bones. It felt like someone was taking a hammer and beating the bones in my hands, which means when you don't have hands that you can utilize, I couldn't pick up a coffee cup. I couldn't pour my own coffee. I couldn't hardly zip my own zippers or button my own buttons.
I've been
It
there.
was brush my own teeth. It was I mean, I did all that, but you're oohing and ahhing and humming and tears, and it gets to the point where I went back to bed. I mean, and that doesn't do anybody any good, right?
Mhm.
So I did find a rheumatologist that got me that did help. We are not anti-doctors. I am not an anti-doctor. I am a team player with the doctors. But I found myself taking blood pressure medicine, taking arthritis medicine, taking all these thyroid medication, taking so many different things. And I wasn't, I was continuing to get worse
Mhm.
because, our bodies become immune and then you have to increase the
That's
medication.
that's exactly the situation I'm going through now. It's like, oh, okay, your body kind of, adjusted and is immune to this, so we're gonna increase it. And I'm like, I
Right.
don't want to increase no more.
Right. That's
I'm
right.
already taking so many pills.
That's right. That's right. Well, one thing that I can address, there was a particular thing that I don't sell. I do have a website where I do sell a lot of my some oils and things like that. But there is something that I use that got me over the hump that y'all need to check out, and you need to check out as well. And this is from Black's Tropical Homestead, and it's the wild yam cream that she sells.
Okay.
And, that's at Black's Tropical Homestead. This wild yam cream is supposed to be for hormonal balance, and you being in the age group that you are, it could definitely use, you could use this as well. But this was the beginning step that helped me have some relief, because before I wouldn't have been able to hold this jar. I wouldn't have been able to clap my hands or move my fingers or use any of these things. And so that was a big help. Also, there's something else that you can do, Miss T, each morning. And I don't know how you are on spicy foods. How are you on spicy foods?
I can handle mild, but the spicy, like
Oh,
jalapeno.
yeah, I don't like spicy at all. But let me tell you, it's this is cayenne pepper. Um, Cayenne pepper is not the capsaicin in cayenne pepper is not at a level that will hurt you. I began to, yeah, double trouble, Rob in the garden. Jeez, he says, uh-oh, we're in double trouble. We grew cayenne pepper. It's very easy to grow. I mean, starting from seed was a little tough. I started with starts in our garden, but they're prolific. They give off a lot of things. The capsaicin in the cayenne pepper, somehow God made it so it knows exactly where to go and what to do for your body wherever you need it.
Okay.
I had developed ulcers from all the medication
Ooh,
and things that I was taking. I had developed, and even high blood pressure and all those types of things. And so I started taking cayenne pepper in the morning. And all I'll do, I got a little eighth of a teaspoon. Oh, I didn't bring my, well, of course I forgot something.
Now let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the spice level for that cayenne for you?
For me, because I don't even like black pepper, I don't like spice at all.
Okay,
So for me, I would say a 4,
okay,
maybe,
okay.
and it's very tolerable. This is a a quarter of a teaspoon thing, but I use half of that. And I've already done it this morning, and I didn't bring my little container in here, but I put it in a little bit of water, stir it up, and I can't just sip it. I got to shoot it. It's kind of like, you got to take a shot.
Okay, take a shot every morning.
That's right. And
No,
mix it with water. And then I drink several other things of water afterwards because I'm like, ugh. Let's see, Tampa Creek and more. Please be careful. You got to wean yourself off of meds. Talk with your doctor. Sherry was able to get herself off of those meds. That's right. That's right. Fresh and fire. And we do need to work with our doctors. You don't want to stop something cold turkey. Weaning slowly off of as we're rising these herbs is a whole nother deal. Now there's something else with cayenne that has helped me a lot, and I have made, you can do this too. All of us, we can all do this. I happen to have made some, and I do have it on my website. Now Jesse is talking about cayenne pepper, and it's rated. It in the those are the units. Those numbers don't really mean a whole lot to my brain. But what it means to me is that it's not horrible like a jalapeno or something crazy like that. It's not terrible. Um, and so this is cayenne peppers that have been infusing in castor oil. I outsourced the castor oil, really good. You need really good castor oil.
What do you
That
mean by really good castor oil?
What I mean is you need to get it from a good company that is reputable. It
Okay.
needs to be cold pressed, and I've got the container. No. Cold pressed and Hexon free. And oh, good. We've got Jesse putting more remedies, links to how you can get help for our needs in cayenne. there's some cayenne, there's some castor oil out there, and castor oil is very good for all of us also. I put 3 drops of castor oil in my belly button every night.
Really?
Mhm. Because our belly button is our closest, easiest absorbed spot. That's kinda where God attached us to our mama. And so there's a little opening in there that can get into. Also, as far as I know I'm talking in circles and I'm talking too much. Tell me to stop.
No, it's fine 'cause I'm obtaining the information and everything. Here's some
Okay.
examples of different peppers.
Mhm. And those are the various capsaicins that are in cayenne pepper. Um, and it's not like you see the cayenne is 30,000, where a jalapeno is gonna be more, 8,000 or 3,000 to 8,000. And then you've got all kinds of crazy, crazy hot, burn your inside stuff all to pieces. And I appreciate that chart.
So let me ask you this, Auntie. So how long have you been okay, so you like myself at your wits end with all the medicines and whatnot.
Hmm.
How long have you been like experimenting with the cayennes and how do you know which ones are good and better?
I just did a bunch of research. I've got a book here. Oops. Let's see if I can drop things. Makes it an even better life when I drop things.
Because I know a lot of
So
people are like where to begin. Yeah.
I got to tell you, the world of herbs is an entirely new world, and it can be overwhelming because there's so many things that people say, well, this is good for you, and that's good for you, and this is good for you. And it gets so confusing and so overwhelming. And some of them you have to do your homework because some of them counter-react each other. And like I'm on thyroid medication because I do have some nodules and a slow thyroid. Well, lemon balm interferes with thyroid medication.
Really?
Who knew? I didn't know.
See, that's my fear. I want to like incorporate the herbs, but I don't know what's good, what's not, my medicines, and I'm just
It is. It's well, what you have to do is get some books. Google is your friend. You get some books and begin to learn. And these books will tell you, like if I'm on thyroid medication, what should I not eat? And look, here we go. Black's tropical, and I'm trying to show it. Keep herbs simple. You start slow but simple. She doesn't use a lot of herbs, but she has them if she needs them. And me too. That's what I've done. I don't use a ton of herbs. For one thing, it can be so overwhelming that there's no way that you can have everything. There's just no way. And if you try to start off with everything, it gets insane. Absolutely insane. And books are a good place to start. That's where I started.
all right. What books you got there?
I I have this is the book, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies,
Okay.
and also this one is Home Remedies, that A to Z Guide of Quick and Natural Cures. Those are my 2 books that I go to. I have more. I have more. And what she is saying when she's talking about our food should be our medicine, there's so many different things in our foods now that weren't there before. Um, all these preservatives, all these things to make them shelf stable, all of the added things. And let's see, lemon balm tea actually helps with thyroid. That's why it interferes with the medication. Yes. So if you're on thyroid medication, you just have to there's a balance. If you use lemon balm, then you you can't keep going strong on your medication. is what we're talking about. And I'm not a doctor. Miss T is not a doctor. This is simply stuff that has helped me. And I have used this is infused. Now, there's a cooking process if you want to, or which I do. I put it in a crock pot for several days and then let it rest and strain it and blah, blah, blah. But if you don't want to do that, you can put it in a jar and let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks. And I do have what this does is when you put it on, it's like a Bengay or an Icy Hot, something like that. It helps with sore muscles, pulled muscles, sore spots. You got a spot on your back that hurts, or a spot on your side or your knee, even your knee. It will help, but I can say and know all the ingredients that are in here, right?
So let me ask you a question. I just want to go back real quick on the food comment from
Yes.
Black Tropical. So I don't have any, I'm a city girl, no kind of chickens or animals here anywhere. So, okay, like you said, there are a lot of added on chemicals to help
Yes.
preserve the foods and whatnot. So, where do you recommend to go get uh, food? Is there like a one place that's better than the next or something like that?
Well, I mean, honestly, I know you're not a make it your own kind of gal. Um,
I'm glad
there
you know me so well, Auntie.
and it is difficult for city folk kind of thing. Um, let me read this real quick, and then we'll put it down. And we'll talk about where you can get different foods. It's scary if you take medications not knowing how to start. For instance, if it's a natural remedy that works as well as your medication, how do you know how to make the transition? Slowly and see how your body reacts is the only thing I can tell you, Nanny Tam. Now, as far as healthy foods, the outside area of the grocery store, on the outside, that is where you just have to start. You just start somewhere. And you've got fresh vegetables, fresh things. Um, even your meats and your butters and your cheese, your milks, all these things are on the outside edge. Anything inside the rows, hamburger helper, any kind of frozen pizzas, all those things that we love to eat. Um, that's in the middle rows, but it has so much junk in it that I mean, I'm 65 going on 66, and I was a hamburger helper gal, SpaghettiOs and all
It's
those
so
kinds of
convenient.
anything that was fast and furious for the children was a great idea. And so and the kids liked ravioli, they liked it. And but when I was little, and even when my children were little, there weren't so many preservatives. Now, you used to be able to eat a loaf of Wonder Bread and it would be fine. But now the store-bought bread, there's so many when it says enriched, that means it's chemically changed.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's usually some that grow fruit and herbs, eggs, sometimes milk, meat, and then they sell it. So, you know, farmers markets are usually very good, although you have to be careful at those too, because you've got somebody, they might have a whole stand of honey that they've put in their jars, but it ain't their honey
Mm.
kind of thing. Or you get to a farmer's market or a produce stand and you see in January in North Carolina or where you are in Indiana, and you see this beautiful firm red tomato, That ain't grown in Indiana. And it ain't grown in North Carolina in January or February. So, yeah, that's right. What they're saying is the bread from the store doesn't mold. Well, that's not very natural.
Right. I like the comment. Thank you, Nanny, for she recommended me for Whole Foods. And Asia said, just starting can be as simple as eating more ingredients and less products. 10 to 15
Right.
minutes of working out, walking, stretching a day. I want to start walking. I want to. It's starting to warm up here. Uh,
Yep.
sharing the sun on your face.
I love that. I love that. And my Renaissance grandma, she is a vegetarian and she does all of her own things. And she's an amazing big help. She was an inspiration to me as well. And herbs have been around for centuries. What did our ancestors use before the big farm came into play? For me, I'm just going to use what herbs benefit me. Doctors are pushing meds is not what I'm looking for. And that's right. I had to, out of desperation, I was falling in that pit of pharmaceutical stuff. And so I began to find things. Calendula, my skin, my hands, if you can see
Hmm.
my hands were, they had blisters all over them. They would crack and bleed and sores everywhere, which was very embarrassing because that's the first thing people see is hello, kind of thing. And they're going, oh, I'm shaking that hand because you just keep that right over there to yourself. And my feet, in the bottom of my feet would do that. And sun, that's true. Sun is a wonderful healer. They say that sun is bad for you. Well, a little sunscreen, but vitamin D is so important. And almost all of us are low on vitamin D. If you're a human, almost everybody that you know is low on vitamin D. I thought, okay, I'm getting the pain under control with the wild yam cream, right? I'm
Right.
getting the pain under control. And with the cayenne oil, the cayenne infused castor oil. I'm getting my pain under control, which is so important for the first thing. Now I got to work on my skin. And I found that working on my skin, man, that's a whole world of of face and skin issues is just insane to be able to have that. But I found calendula flowers. Actually, it's a fancy name for marigolds, but calendula flowers. And you can grow your own. I happen to buy this, the company's name, and we've got some help down in the basement being able to pop up some things. And I did not tell him what Jesse is down there with us. I didn't tell him as far as what to pop up. He's got something down there at downstage, but I don't know what it is. Um, Mountain Rose Herbs. Y'all write this down. Mountain Rose Herbs is a very reputable company to purchase your herbs from. It's very reputable. Nanny Tam says, my mother was a stroke victim with all my brothers, had open heart surgery, no medications, became my go to out of fear. I don't want to get off everything, but I feel like it's keeping me alive. And I totally get that. I understand that entirely, Nanny Tam, entirely. But calendula, you can use it in teas, you can use it in salves, you can use it in ointments and things. But I had these spots on my hands and my feet, like we talked about. And I knew that castor oil was good for everything. It really is. Oh, and Our Treasured Home. Yes, Nancy, I thought about you. Nancy from Our Treasured Home is an affiliate with Mountain Rose Herbs. So if anybody wants to go and check out Our Treasured Home, Miss Nancy, she has on her community post, she has a link straight to Mountain Rose Herbs. And here's Drell saying she loves, loves, love Mountain Rose herbs. She's been using them for years. And they were recommended to me as well. We're in a community that we want to help each other.
Right.
And what good does it do me to know something and keep it to myself? I'm not helping anybody. Just like you, Miss T, you're so good about sharing other people's channels, sharing when they need watch hours, taking care of people's lives, and all those types of things. You're so good at that.
Oh, thank you, Auntie.
But to, you know, you have knowledge and you're sharing your knowledge of how to help grow our how to help grow our communities, what good things it is to be able to put out there. And Miss T with the T has something on her stream that says if you type for your channel, if you go to Miss T with the T and you type in her chat MST, is that right?
Yeah.
Is it capital or lowercase?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But I
And
think
what happens if they type in MST?
it will drop the link in the comment section for the people in my live stream to check out your channel. And if they like it, feel free to subscribe.
So, but I mean, you have to go over to Miss T with the T, and I'm sure that Jesse could probably put the link to your channel in my chat so that others can come over and see you. And the same if you put my link in your channel. That would be cool.
I like this person in the basement type thing. We need to do this more often.
It's really awesome.
It makes life so much easier.
It really does. I use my security blanket. This is Jesse from Lazy Days Ahead, and I am drinking out of his wife's cup. This is Miss Lisa, and it says, I had Miss Lisa's jam. Don't be jealous. And that's from Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. And he's just being the kindest as far as, oh, I have some calendula in my coffee. And so let's keep talking about this calendula oil.
Fresh and Fire Backyard Living said, thank you for the recommendation. I've been looking for another spot since my spot has closed down. I'm going to look into the Mountain Rose herbs as well.
Yes.
Since we are talking about oils, do you have oils on your website?
I do. I do. Thank you. I do. I have oils on my website. I do have the cayenne oil that we talked about. And it's 25 for the larger and 15 for the small, but I've got $5 specials and that includes shipping. There's no shipping added. I mean, it takes some to be able to buy the ingredients, grow the ingredients, get the bottles and all those types of things. But if you would like to go on andalehomestead.com and check out what I have some of my Uncle Wayne's handmade wooden spoons. He hand carves these. And so I have some of his wooden spoons on there. And I have some Serenity salt soak, some salts to soak in. What else? Lip balm. I'm proud of my lip balm, y'all. I just added that to the website. I'm really proud of that. I love it. I love it. And then, but the cayenne oil, talk about the calendula oil. Let's talk about that. Calendula has so many healing properties. It can help you internally. I choose to use it externally in oils. It helps with, it's like having a topical Neosporin. You know, when you get a cut or you get a bug bite, or yeah, we're going to have to get you some of that lip balm. You get a cut or you get a bug bite or a paper cut. Oh my gosh, paper cuts are the worst. And in my case, it was my hands were breaking open. And I needed for my hands and my feet. And again, this was my worst hand. So I still have some scars. There's scars here where it would crack and bleed, but really, my hands are great now. They're soft and subtle and wonderful. The healing properties of calendula, and then I infused it with castor oil. And this has been set up for a long time because I've just got it at the ready in case I get orders for it. You strain it, and so you have the healing properties of castor oil and the healing properties of calendula, and it's an amazing cure-all. You can put it anywhere on your skin. My daughter struggles with some breakouts, and she would put the calendula oil on her face, moisturizing. She's in her mid to late 30s where things begin to change in your skin. And she's been able to use all of these things. Is somebody asking where you are?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Miss Wood.
Okay.
Check around.
Everyone, please check around your yard. You could have, let's see what Tixie says. You could have a lot of medicinal herbs growing under your feet. Your yard is literally a pharmacy.
That's some good advice.
Yeah, but please research each plant you come across. And see, I'm still nervous to forage for herbs. They're there, but I'm still nervous to forage for them. So check out my calendula oil. There's some specials on the website, $5 off if you get 2 of anything and no shipping. But the
That's
the
great,
calendula,
Auntie. Not to charge us shipping.
well, you'll see when you get your website, shipping is a tricky thing because it has to be, it's the taxes are different for everybody's state, and you get all this and that, but there's no shipping or taxes. I love foraging. You do, Black's Tropical Homestead. You do. You really do. Indiana Jackson's in here.
Oh yeah.
Plantain and dandelion are also great healing herbs. And that's right. What I do in the spring, it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. The grandchildren and I go out in the yard and we start collecting the dandelions. I have, however, grown dandelions in a pot, which most people think, oh my gosh, we need those weeds out of our yard because they're the little fuzzy balls that end up floating all over the place. I plant them because I want the roots of the dandelion. The roots of the dandelion are amazing healing products. They have amazing healing products. So I've done nothing but run my mouth on your show.
It's fine. It's fine. I promise. Because look. I'm over here jotting notes and whatnot. I'm got a mountain rose.
That's right. Now, Lazy Days Ahead says that's how I found Sherry and Bobby from foraging. That's one of the goals, to learn to forage. Yes. Been following Kaylee at the Honeystead, and she does all these medicinal things with bees. Yeah, I'm telling you. And she says, Miss T, start with a little cayenne daily, and it will give you energy. It does stop inflammation. And so that's where you can start. And I'm telling you, the first time you take that shot, you go, whoa, oh, water. Blech.
You know, I think you did. Did you do a short on the cayenne? Yeah, and I was looking at your face because I was like, cayenne. I don't know.
Yeah, I did. And it was like, blech. But it only lasts a few seconds. It's not like if you're eating something jalapeno or habanero or some of those things where those things stay with you, the heat stays with you. It doesn't. It goes away. And Linda Peterson says bees are out now in Oklahoma. 80 degrees outside for a while. Oh, Linda, I'm so glad you're here. That was awesome. So there's a lot of things that could go on. There's no way that I could talk about everything that I have on my website,
Ooh, another
but
question, Auntie. Another question, because I
yeah,
don't carry cayennes. Where or Black's Tropical or whoever? Where where do I get that?
you can get cayenne pepper at the grocery store.
The
You
powder kind,
can.
and I just mix water with it, or what are we doing here?
You just go and get cayenne. Let's see. And she says, "Do you think store-bought cayenne would be effective?" Yes, that's what I started with. And you know what I did? I went in the Mexican section and got
Let's see.
the bottle of cayenne. The thing you want to do is make sure that the ingredients on the bottle
Uh-huh.
says cayenne pepper. It
Okay,
doesn't need to say like 10 different things.
right. For just cayenne peppers. All right.
Yeah, just read the label. You can just get crushed up cayenne pepper. That's the way I started. Just a bottle of cayenne pepper. I mean, this looks fancy because I did grow it and I know exactly what's in here. But I started with the bottled cayenne. And and that's what you can do as well. It helps with inflammation. It helps with energy. It helps with blood flow. It cleans your blood system. I wouldn't take it at night because I can't sleep when I take it at night.
Get
But I
you.
can tell you something else. I took it. I had been having some trouble. And it sounds like I got a whole bunch of health issues. And I guess the older you get, the more you have. But my ulcers were acting up again because I had slacked off on the cayenne pepper. It's
Mhm.
hard to not to to keep going once you feel good. It's like any other kind of thing that you do. Um, but this is something that I knew helped. You can't take too much. So I would take it sometimes 3 times a day.
Oh wow.
If I was having stomach indigestion and you think, "Oh my lord, I've got, um, something in my esophagus. I have indigestion of this and that and the other. I can't take anything hot, it's gonna burn me up." That stuff, I don't take it in a capsule form, Holly Hobby. I actually take the pow but you could.
Uh,
I
Lewis Acre Farm said, if you can't handle cayenne, the paprika work. How do you feel about the paprika?
I have never tried paprika,
Okay.
so I really don't know. And Karma does have an allergy to cayenne pepper,
Okay.
from Lewis Acre Farm, and I hate that for her. And, we're all made different. So you have
Right.
to pay attention to your body when you're doing these things, right?
Right.
You have to pay attention.
I think
And,
She said
oh,
the cayenne.
it has to be cayenne.
Oh yeah. Try put it in soup. I eat a lot of soup,
Mhm.
so I might try that as well.
And also, like, I have speaking of Black's Tropical, I not only have Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa's coffee cup, I have Black's Tropical. I'm a soil sister. So I, I, I fill this up with water, put a little lemon in it, and sprinkle just barely because I don't really like the taste every single sip. Sprinkle a little cayenne on the top of it. And when you're drinking it all day, that continuously infuses you. Now, my husband doesn't need to do that because he eats cayenne pepper or hot pepper or some sort of pepper on everything. And she says a little bit goes a long way. It absolutely does. And PIA says, Passionately Intrigued Arts, can I mix the chain on in my coffee or tea? Well, of course, you can absolutely add it to anything. You can add it to anything. And, that kind of stuff. So I had somebody after yesterday, I had the privilege of going live on my Tuesday with my buddy, Cherie from Black's Tropical Homestead. And I had an email afterwards saying, Miss Ann, I couldn't comment on your live. I don't know why. But do you have anything that will help all these viruses and all these things that are going on? Our family has been plagued with virus this year. Hey, J3GS, I'm glad to see you. So I'm going to turn the page on the herbs. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right, I'm going to turn the page. This is something I don't sell this. This is something that you can do. But I do have a really cool God story if we have time. Do you have time?
Oh yeah, we're at 45 minutes now. We have a little time.
Okay. So I have some oregano oil. This is how I have infused it. It's with grapeseed oil. It's not castor oil because castor oil you don't want to ingest. Not the kind of castor oil I have. And Miss T with T, you're too young to have your grandmama shove a spoonful of castor oil down your throat.
You're absolutely right.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I've heard the
But I
story.
can't. Yeah, yeah. It was to keep you regular. You
Mm,
it you needed to be regular and behave yourself. So, you know, does drinking milk afterwards, um, I don't know. I don't know. I missed that comment. I'm sorry. Drinking milk afterwards, do anything on the cayenne.
make it smooth, easier to take.
Honestly, it's really not that. I mean, I'm very sensitive to hot things. I just drink a few sips of water and then a sip of coffee and it's gone. I mean, it doesn't hang around. It's not like you're dying and you've got to drink. It's not that bad.
Okay.
So I made some oregano oil, and this is Mexican oregano that I ordered from the Mountain Rose Herbs. And it comes looking like oregano. You can grow it in your own yard if you want to. And I do have some oregano growing out there. I just needed it and didn't have a spot, couldn't wait for it to grow, so I ordered some. And I made little tea bags. I ordered the little tea bags off of Amazon, made little tea bags, put them in some grapeseed oil because grapeseed oil is um, something that you can ingest. It doesn't taste bad. Honestly, it doesn't have a taste to me. Grapeseed oil doesn't. You could use olive oil, you could use anything. But okay, good. So I made some oregano oil, right?
Queen is trying to get a hold of you. I do have her link in the description, I believe. Can our person in the basement drop Andale's homestead in the link so Queen can get a hold of her, please and
Help me
thank.
find out if and okay, so it's Anne Dale Homestead, and I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, a little bit on TikTok. I'm a little old for TikTok, but I'm a little bit on TikTok too. And I have a website, AnndaleHomestead.com. Everything's under Andale Homestead. My shirt says Andale Homestead. And
Oh,
Jesse is putting it in here. But you can email me too, andlehomestead@gmail.com. You can do that as well. So I was getting ready to go down to the grandchildren. Oregano oil that I have, I don't sell this. I may have some at a festival or something to be able to purchase, but this is not on my website. But this is how God works, y'all. It's just the coolest thing. I'm still blown away. I still walk around, and in the middle of the day, I'll walk around and smile. Oh, I'm dropping things. Sorry. So I was heading down to the grandchildren, and usually when I go down there, our house, yeah, social media overload. That's right. It is. It's crazy storm. I try to, you can do. Yes, you can use avocado oil as well. Avocado oil on your infusing your Mexican oregano. All right, I'm gonna get out of the chat for just a second. You keep up with the chat for me, Miss T, because I have a story to tell. So I was headed down to the grandchildren, and their house down there is the fun house. It's where everybody comes. And the street that they live on has probably close to a dozen children, almost their same age. So they come a lot. And okay, Facebook Messenger would be great. And often children are little carriers of germs, you know. And for a little old lady that's sitting in her house all the time, I'm not exposed to those germs as often. So therefore, I catch something just about every time I come. I mean, it's just a given. And my daughter had warned me that some of the kids next door had a runny nose and that her husband had a runny nose. He was sick. And I said, well, you sanitize all those doorknobs and all those things in that house before I get there. But I thought, well, I will bring my oregano oil. Oregano oil is well known to be an amazing antibiotic that you take internally. It's just a fabulous antibiotic. Natural. You're not going to get yeast infections and all kinds of crazy things from taking an antibiotic. So I had it in the jar like this, and I thought, well, I'm going to pour it in some usable jars, and I'll take some, one for my daughter, one for a friend, and one for myself. So I got out this oregano oil the night before, and I was putting it in these little bottles, and I said, well, I don't need but 3. Something was telling me to make a 4th one. Just go ahead. Just go ahead, make that 4th one. Just do it. And okay, all right. Well, what the heck? Got it in the jar. I may as well go ahead and do it. And so I did. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to label these things. I don't sell them. It's just for us. I don't have to worry about it. And something told me again, which ended up being the Lord, just write on the daggone label and label your jars so that in case somebody has a jar or a bottle, a dropper bottle, just the same, then they're not going to get it mixed up because this is something that you take internally. Okay, I threw them in the bag, headed down. It's about a 3-hour drive, 2 hours and 45 minutes to get down to the grandchildren. And so I was headed down and I needed something from CVS. Well, from my house to my daughter's house, there's several CVS's along the way. And I kept thinking, well, I'll stop in Williamston or I'll stop in Little Washington. Okay, well, I missed those 2. I'll stop in New Bern. Missed that one. I said, well, dadgummit. All right, I'm going to stop at CVS in Sneeds Ferry, which is where my daughter lives. But before I did that, I debated, man, should I do it now or later? I'd already driven almost 3 hours. I was tired. I didn't really, really want to go to a store. I thought, yeah, I need to go because for the next 4 days, I'm going to have children with me during business hours. And it's a heck of a lot easier to go in a store without kids than it is with kids, right?
Right.
So I ended up driving up at this CVS store in Sneeds Ferry. I'm from out of town, drove 3 hours to get there. And I got in, there was a line. There was quite a line, and I needed something from behind the counter. And there was a gentleman that was there, tall and thin, kind of meek looking. I would guess 30s, 40s ish. You can't really tell a lot of times these days how old somebody is. That's how I would guess. And he was in line. And so I couldn't really tell, but I still scooted around behind him. And we were there, and he was looking around, kind of tapping his hands a little bit. And he looked at me and he said, do you have any idea if they might sell oregano oil in this store? I went, no, they don't sell oregano oil here. And so we began to get in a conversation. I said, honey, you're going to have to go to a health food store or something. He said, well, the missus and I are trying desperately to get over something. And my mama sent me some oregano oil a few years ago, and it really helped. And so that's what I was in search of. And And he said, "Do you know of any stores in town?" I'm not from here. We stopped at this store to see. So he wasn't from there. We were at the store at the same time, both of us from out of town. And he's asking for oregano oil.
What are
And
the odds?
what? Okay, so the Lord is going, you got some in your car. You got some in your car. You got an extra bottle in your car. And you better tell him about that. So I said, look, you don't know me from Adam. I didn't have on any merchandise shirt. I just had on regular old granny clothes. I mean, I was just standing in line. It was just I was a nobody. And when he turned around to speak to me, he did have a very strong scent of alcohol, and
Mm,
he did have his yellow eyes, but he had the most gentle soul about himself and a gentle, non-threatening appearance. As far as his hands were always in a meek and mild position. He was tall and thin, but he was kind of in a meeker position, and his voice was soft and sweet. And I said, "Look, I know this is going to be super weird because this doesn't happen, but I have some oregano oil in my car, in the trunk of my car. And if you promise not to kill me when we go out to the parking lot, because I don't know you, then you are welcome to it." I said,
you
"You
really said that?
I did, because I don't know him. I mean, who could?"
I'm
He
just
said,
envisioning, hey, sir, don't kill me, but
yeah,
I have oregano. Okay.
that's right. And I said, "Just don't kill me. And because I don't know you, I will need you to keep your space. But I do have some. I made some, and it's just wonderful that I mean, who asked for oregano oil? Both of us from different towns in the live at the same moment. That's God. There's nothing. There's no way."
Right.
I said, "Okay, you." He said, "Oh, okay, ma'am." I was kind of insistent that he take it. Actually, I mean, I've got it. If you want it, you're welcome to it. I've got it. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna wait outside. I'm gonna go talk to her, which was his significant other, and I'm parked over to the side. Where are you parked? "Well, I'm parked right out front in that white Tahoe out there, and I'll meet you out there in the parking lot."
Now,
And
see, if that was me, he would have missed his blessing because my fear factor. But
well, I'm telling you that I mean, honestly,
yeah,
Miss T, what are the odds?
exactly. You're right.
I mean, this has got to be the Lord. It had to be, because there's just no way that he would pick me to ask for oregano oil, and
Yeah.
that I would be kind enough, not that I'm kind, but that I would not be put off by the scent of alcohol or his yellow eyes, because we all have something. We all have something that we carry around, and it never hurts to be kind. It's something that everyone deserves dignity. Everyone
This is true.
deserves
This is
dignity.
true.
So I get up to the counter and I've ordered what I want behind the counter. I got some gum or something. And the lady behind, she said, "Do you know that guy?" "No, but he asked for oregano oil and I got some in the trunk of my car." She said, "Do you sell this stuff?" I went, "Well, I mean, I do. I have a website that I do sell some oils, but I'm not I don't sell oregano oil. I got it because I'm coming down to visit my grandchildren and they all are got germs." She said, well, she had a line, still had a line. Said, "You're not going out to that parking lot by yourself. We don't know people these days. And I want you to wait. You stand right there. You're not going out there without me. I'm coming with you." So she waited on like 2 more people. I waited for her, and then she told the rest of the line, "I'll be right back." She left them to come out to the parking lot with me. So I step outside the door of CVS, and he's right there to the right. It was a little startling to begin with, but he held his hand out and he said, "Hi, I'm Mike, and it's nice to meet you." As someone had mentioned to me, Mike, as in Michael the Archangel. And I said, "Hi, Mike." And I grabbed his hand and I said, "I'm Ann, and it's really nice to meet you." And he went, "Oh, Ann, that's my mama's middle name." In which I went, "Oh my gosh, honey," I said, "Okay, this is it. I don't know what you believe in. I don't know what your belief is, but I'm telling you, this is the Lord all over the place."
There was so
He
much
has
going on in this store.
It is crazy. He wants you to have this. I don't know why. I have no idea. I have an extra bottle. It was supposed to be for you. Why you ask me at this particular time, I don't have a clue. But here's my car. So we're walking up to the car, and I'm saying, "Now look, you stay in the front of the car while I open the trunk." I got the lady from CVS to come back with me.
Mhm.
And I said, "You stay up there because I don't know you and I don't want you to kill me." And he started laughing, and he just sat with his hands like this, just the sweetest, most gentle spirit. So I got my bottle of oregano oil out that I had labeled. If it wasn't labeled, who would take it? Right? I had labeled the night before. Gave it to him, explained that it's Mexican oregano, very good for you. You can take it 2 or 3 times a day, and it really will help with whatever kind of infections that you might have. And he looked me in the face and he said, "Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you." And I gave him a hug. I don't know what it was that he had, but I gave him a hug and he went off his way. And then I hugged the girl from CVS and said, I don't know what this is, but I can tell you this is not from me. It absolutely is a God thing." And he was all around us. So I'm just saying, if you get a little voice about something, you might want to participate. That's my story about oregano oil.
That is an awesome story. There was so many coincidences in this one store within such a short amount of time.
Yeah, it can't be. It can't be. I mean, it just couldn't be. So, and the people that have heard it before, they just have, and it's okay. Sorry if you have, if you had to go through that, but I do appreciate you all being there, being here. So, that's just about what we got. It's 10:17. I do have other things that I wanted to share with you. It's nothing quite as amazing as my oregano story. But first of all, we can start with cayenne pepper. You can start with small doses of that. And then from there, um, I'm not, Ginger, I'm not positive on rosemary, not enough to be able to say to help others. Um, but yes, discernment. That's right. It was crazy. It is. It's just amazing to be able to. And there's just no way that that story is by chance. I mean, there's just no way. And I may never ever see him ever again. We won't. Neither one of us were from there. I did go back a couple of days later and try to meet the woman that was behind the counter. I haven't caught her in CVS yet, but I did leave a couple of business cards so that she would know that I'm not an absolute kook. This crazy old lady telling somebody not to kill her out in the parking lot. So, that kind of stuff. So, do you have some questions, Miss T, or
No, I do want to say I appreciate everybody helping me out here in the comment section and my auntie Dale. Like I said before, I am straight city folk, so I guess I'm
right?
going to start off with cayenne and go from there. I did see the comment from F. Smith in Tampa about what. I'm have to go back and see what actually she said. The oil and everything. I'm going to definitely look up Mountain Rose herbs.
Do but I can tell you, it's like walking in a mall with all of your favorite jewelry. You get overwhelmed. So just kind of narrow it down. I've been purchasing and growing my own herbs for a couple of years now. And I'm just now starting to get more and more that I'm able to utilize. So I didn't, Nene Tam, I didn't tell him I was on social media. I've kicked myself a dozen times because when you leave a conversation with somebody, you think I coulda, shoulda, woulda, and I had business cards right there in my car that I coulda, shoulda, woulda. I shoulda handed him that so that he would feel more confident in taking what I gave him. And because I mean, kind of brave of him too. Take some oil from a little old lady out of CVS that happens to have some in her trunk. I mean, who does that? So
So, Auntie, we are past the hour mark. Did you want to still do a small giveaway?
that would be great. And Jesse, he's down there in the basement just popping things all over the place. We would like to give away something today, if you don't mind. I don't see his little face down there in the basement. I'm sure he's listening, but it is from the StreamYard. There we go. There he goes. From the StreamYard giveaway tool. We're going to do a hashtag. Thank you, African Queen. I love that. You always listen to your inner voice. Yeah, on a spiritual team. That's
So,
exactly right.
before we do the giveaway, do they need to be on your channel or?
Both. It'll pick from everything that is streamed. It's a hashtag game. And what I think we can give away, let's do a bottle of calendula oil. How's that?
Sounds
Because
wonderful.
it is so healing. I really feel comfortable doing that. And I don't do this. I don't give away these things, but because I am a guest on Miss T with the T, just specifically for her, there we go. So y'all type in hashtag Ms. T. It's not case sensitive. It could be all capitals, all lowercase, all those types of things. So we're going to hashtag MST. And the thing is, that's funny because
Uh-huh.
I
Sorry.
bet if they type in MST in your chat, Nightbot's gonna freak out. What you think?
I do think I'm just now thinking that right now.
Because on Miss T with the T's channel, if you do have a YouTube channel, you could go over to her channel and type in MST and it will drop your link. Now, quite frankly, I'm thinking Nightbot's going, whoa, no way. Yeah, hold up. Hold up. Jamia, yay! I'm also YouTube police over here to visit from Andale. Thank you, Belt Loop and South Florida Sunshine. How you doing? Maritz's Yarn and Crafts, passionately intrigued arts and more. Fresh and fire backyard living. So many of these people. And while we're waiting for people to enter, because we have about 67 people in here, y'all hit the like button, though. I don't see a whole lot of likes. Hit the like button for Miss T and for me,
The
please.
best auntie ever.
So hit the like button for Miss T and me. But I got an opportunity yesterday to speak with Black's Tropical Homestead, and on Facebook, they are Bobby and Sherry Lifestyles. And we talked about the Soil Family Expo
Mhm.
that's coming up. And that's going to be in Savannah, Georgia, April the 4th through the 6th. And then, now, Jesse, I don't see but 21 entries. Am I right? I see. Who knows?
You're 21. That's why I see as well.
Okay. So keep putting hashtag MST and I will send you some calendula oil. But I'm going down with Best Yet Journey and we're going to room together. And so I'm tickled to have Lydia be able to be there with me. And she and I are going to be gallivanting, but I'm staying at, I think it's the Hilton, Hyatt Hilton, one of those. I've got a girlfriend that works in the system and gets me a really good deal out by the airport. One of
Now,
those hotels out there.
how far of the drive? How far of a drive is it from where you're at?
From my house, it takes me between 7 and 8 hours depending on 95. Now I'm going to go, it'll take me an extra hour and a half because I'm going to go drive to Columbia, South Carolina and get Best Yet. And then she's going to drive my car from Columbia to Savannah.
Wow.
So it'll probably be about a 9-hour drive. I'm thinking of going down to Columbia on Wednesday, honestly, and staying there for the night and then getting up Thursday and just leaving from there, from Columbia.
It's a 12+ hour drive for me, and I'm driving by myself. Well, Sarah's Happy Hives and Almost Homesteading with Janet, they're considering going, so I might carpool with them.
Sarah's Happy Hives would have a blast.
She would.
And Homesteading with Janet would too. You missed the announcement. To people, you need to use a capital. No, you don't have to. It's not case sensitive, honey. You can put MST, capital MST, this, and that's for Ms. T, or you can put it all little. It doesn't matter. And same here, Ms. T. 7 hours plus just to get out of our state. That Florida, that long peninsula of Florida. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, it hasn't moved, and we got 23 in there. And what we'll do is you can email Miss T. Can they email you, the person that wins, because this
Sure,
is your
absolutely.
show?
Okay.
And then you email me and let them know. You know what? Let's reverse that.
Okay.
I'm just going to have them email me because I do have a banner that, oh, it's already up there. Amazing how that
I'm gonna
happened.
hire your basement guy. Are you free Monday through Friday?
He says, oh no. He says, no. He's used and abused. He's so used and abused. Bless his heart. He's such a giving human. And he and his wife, you just wouldn't believe how much I owe them. All right, so let's get ready to run this. Miss T, you count down so
Okay.
that we can win the
Laura's Garden and More. It has to be a hashtag MST. Just want to
right.
make sure you get a chance to get in there.
Yep. So we'll wait a second and see if she can do that. Hey, Big Rooster.
Rooster, baby.
He says, I love how he says, hey, darling. Hey, darling.
Don't be fooled.
I watch him bowling sometimes.
So tomorrow we're gonna be talking to a lady. She's doing a wellness women's retreat in Oklahoma in October. So she's gonna speak on that. And then Friday on the show, because I do go live Monday through Friday. We're gonna be doing health and wellness again with Be Amazing Sylvia. So yeah.
It's a healthy week. It's a healthy week. But y'all, everybody, please do me a favor and check out my website, AnnDaleHomestead.com. Just see if there's something that you might be interested in. You can do anything that I have made other than the spoons, probably. You can, but if you don't feel like it or you don't have the supplies, I've already made it for you, right? So,
Can I
hey,
do a quick little story? This is gonna be a quick one. I know I told Aunt Dale about it. So I had a giveaway and I purchased the Garden in a Glow from Aunt Dale Homestead, and a lady overseas ended up winning. And I was like, I sent items to Sammy Joe in Canada. So I was like, okay, I can do this. But the shipping was like astronomical. I was like,
crazy.
So she was like, she really wants these seeds. She was like, I will pay for the shipping. I want those Andale Homestead seeds.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
It is. She loves her some Andale Homestead.
What a compliment. Oh gosh. Okay. Our basement guy is saying, okay, let's draw. Let's draw. Okay. So Miss T, you count down and 29 belt loop. It says 29 on there, honey. He's a big
All
29.
right, I'm ready.
Okay, so we go 3, 2, 1. Let's see who wins. Who's going to get it? Who needs it? Who wants it? Somehow or t'other, we're going to get some calendula oil sent right to you. Nancy! Nancy from our treasured home. And she happens to be a representative for Mountain Rose Herbs. So that's pretty cool, huh?
It is.
All right. Thank you, Nancy. I'll get that right out to you. Email me, please. Email me, andalehomestead@gmail.com. So, Nancy, congratulations on getting your bottle of calendula oil, and I'll get it right out to you. But even if I have your address, I am old and I forget. So please email me within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, I tell people that too, because I do a lot of giveaways and people may have moved since then. And I don't keep track of everybody's email address. So
that's right. I should do better. And I used to write everything down on a 3x5 card. But I'm not good like Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. She is the shipping queen. She is the shipping department that she's a mess. She's wonderful and I love it. So
I want to thank Aunt Dale again for coming on the show. We was talking behind the scenes ahead of time. We're definitely gonna have to do a follow-up on this. And if you're a basement guy, we'll reconsider and want to, Monday through Friday, 9:15 a.m. Standard time. It would be greatly appreciated.
You're not the first person that has asked him that. Trust me, and he says, I've already got like 300. He's the mod father. Look at him. He's the mod father of everyone. That's hilarious. So I just appreciate the fact that you and I can come up and talk about healing ourselves. When you get your body you give your body the opportunity to heal itself. It is made to do just that. Mm-hmm. And the less that we can, honestly, when the virus came around, I was on so many prescription medications that I thought, if they're not coming in from China, or I can't get them at the drugstore because shipping has been shut down and all those things, it's been nice knowing you, kind of thing. But I thought, I better back up and depend on the Lord's herbs, depend on what he has already made that we can heal ourselves. And I'm better now than I was 5 years ago. Honestly, I'm better now. So.
Yes, I'm going to purchase me some cayenne pepper, and I'm try to start doing that on the daily. Maybe like in a month or two, we can like follow up and do another one.
That would be fabulous. Just a little bit. I mean, some people do like a whole teaspoon or something, but I've got that little eighth of a quarter teaspoon that I use half of that. I mean, it's like your thumb, your pinky, your pink end of your pinky. That would be great. Thank you, Nanny Tam. I appreciate that. Blessings for everyone. And what's up with that? Yeah, he is working harder now that he's retired. I need my coffee. Congratulations on the warm weather. Yeah, we all need our coffee, don't we? So it's kind of like saying goodbye to your boyfriend on the phone. I have a hard time saying goodbye.
I remind you of your high school sweetheart back in the day.
Yeah. No, you say goodbye. No, you first.
Well, it was very awesome awesome to meet everybody in here on Andale's side and the new people who came in. I'm glad you found us.
Yes,
You have anything to say to everybody, Aunt Dale?
absolutely. I'm pretty particular on who I bring up and who I'm associated with. And this young lady right here is someone that you do want to know. She has a helpful heart, and she is into positive motivation and trying to keep you moving in a forward direction. So I just appreciate her giving me the opportunity to come up and see all of you and all of your friends, and hopefully this will help us connect even more to expand our community to be able to be good friends. So
That's what it's all about.
thank you a bunch.
Good seeing everybody. We'll see you soon in these YouTube streets.
All right. Bye bye now.
If it's weird, 'cause I can't end it on my end.
I can't. Oh my God.